brave heart. You stole Wayne's heart. But dear old Nicki, answer them lawyers' calls.
Y'all already know what time it is. I got the black V-neck on.
Girl, I know y'all are hitting the dislike button, but girl, dear old Nicki, please call back. Because the fans are ready for you to stop. We ready for you to stop, girl. Ooh, did I say we? Girl, yes, call it what you want. If you want to call me a Nicki Minaj fan so much that I talk about her, do what you need to do. But this stuff is very, very serious. Like, Nicki, you are flopping, you are failing, you look foolish. Honestly, this era is worse than your arguments in Queen Radio back and forth with Cardi B. Like, this is worse. Like, you are literally letting this man, your connection with this man, causing you to deal with so much unnecessary mess and drama. So recently, I don't know if you all knew or not, but Kenneth Petty, Nicki Minaj's husband, had to pleaded guilty to not registering as a sex offender. And that's just on period. Like, we already know the story. We talked about it. We heard about Kenneth Petty's story of the things that he has done to the victim. And we are just acting like we just not going to talk about it. Like, I'm just really disappointed at seeing some of these Instagram blogs who just refuse to cover any of it. Just, they are posting everything else except that. Like, why are y'all scared to talk about it? I have questions. Why are y'all not posting? It's news. Or are you only posting the news when it's beneficial for said artists? That's not news. That's not how you do stuff. That's not. Now let me tell you something. I don't know how to tell. I'm gonna say this every time I bring up Nicki because I want people to understand. I grew up listening to Nicki Minaj. I never considered myself a barb, but I was listening to her when I was overseas. Unfortunately, when I was in the army, I was loving her. Like, she really, like, her album got me through. Her what was it, Pink Friday? It really got me through. It was cute. I loved it. But just seeing right now, like, how she is engaging, not just even the stuff with her husband, I think that is worse, but just recently, for her to come out and basically say that she's an anti-vaxxer. Like, of course she didn't say it, but she said she needs to do more research. She got the vaccine, and she said she wasn't going to the Met Gala because you got to be vaccinated, and she don't know, child. Nicki, you trying to bring up your baby is beautiful, period. I just don't think that you are being realistic when you say that the reason why you don't want to do these things is because you have a child at home. Nicki, you was doing all types of stuff. Like, you just got to taking a picture with Rihanna and her boo thing. Like, you was out here doing music videos while you was pregnant with that non-black rapper who continuously says the N-word, who's been called out for other sexual misconduct and all other things. And it's just like, Nicki, what is going on? Like, you cannot invoke, like listen, I am not the biggest fan of that super liberal Joy Reid. I am, like, let me just put this out there. Like, girl, sis, you got some nerve to be calling her a coon and all this other stuff when Nicki, the only time that you bring up anything that's related to anti-blackness or things that affect black folks is when you needed to protect yourself. And that's not how it works. But you're not the only person who does that. But it's just like you constantly do that. You did that same thing with Cardi B when you were talking about supporting women and all that other stuff. Like, you did not care about those strippers when they got beat up by Cardi B's folks or whatever. You did not care about that. You were using it at the moment to drag somebody that you were not interested in. If you truly care about women, especially young black women, you wouldn't be out here doing music with 6ix9ine. You wouldn't be out here hanging out with some of the folks that you do. You specifically would have married this man who's been called out, who this black woman has literally came to you and said, hey girl, I need you to know that this man did these things to me. And then you're using your money, your power, your resources to silence this woman, this victim of her experiences. So you responded to everybody on Twitter. You going back with this random person on Twitter and you dragging Piers Morgan and all the other stuff. Like, girl, when, since you addressing everything, you all in the what's the thing? the TED Talk things, the clubhouses, the Twitter talks, you all that. When are you gonna bring your ass into a conversation where we talking about this that your husband done and the stuff that you have done to defend him? Because you was out here all giving us all type of misinformation and making it seem as though that, oh, they was both in a relationship and they was both the same age and da-da-da-da, and you know, it was not that serious, and like you did all of these things to defend this man that I don't think would do the same for you if it was the other way around. We don't know, we don't have many stories of black men or men in general sticking beside their women when they go through stuff. The only person we can name is Papoose. That's the only person. That's the only person. That's why Papoose gets so much praise, because it's unheard of. So for you to be out here defending this man, doing all this stuff, girl, I guarantee you he wouldn't have been doing the same thing with you. I guarantee you he wouldn't have been doing the same thing. He would have kicked you to the curb. That man ain't got, I don't know what hold or what hook he got on you, but I promise you it's not that serious. So dear old Nicki, where's the hungry Nicki at that was ready to do stuff, that was out here like in the studio doing all this stuff? Now it's coming off like you're very bitter, you you just angry at everybody. And I understand the media and other folks have done you wrong in the past and treated you. I definitely resonate with some of the stuff you have said, some of the stuff you said in the past when you did talk about some pickle juice. We was talking about, if I'm assertive and all that, I'll get called the B word. You was speaking some real truth. You was on that. But Nicki, it seemed like you had a good politic, but it was only when it was beneficial for you. And that's the issue. That's the purpose of this Dear Old Nicki video, because where's the old Nicki at? Where's Nicki at? Where's Nicki? That's the Nicki I want to see. I don't want to see Nicki out here tweeting about her cousin got the vaccine and his balls swollen and whatever. Girl, you just basically urged your cousin out for, your cousin sound like he had an STI, and that's the reason why his fiance left him, because he cheated on her and contracting an STI. That was not the vaccine. There's not been any stuff. I promise you, as large as my platform is, if it had been any side effects from the vaccine, I would have been in front of the camera telling y'all about it. I would have been telling y'all about it. There's not been, y'all putting up 1, 2, 3 stories about something that happened, something that's not even peer reviewed, peer checked, pure fact. And when y'all say y'all are doing the research, like Nicki says she's doing the research, what lab is y'all going to? What scientists are y'all getting to do the research? Who are y'all paying to do the research? Because even if you do the research, it's got to come from the scientists who got to tell you what it is, because we don't know. We don't know it. So what we can go off is information and say, you know what? I done seen 2 million people get this vaccine. I done seen all these people. Yes, I've seen a couple of folks contract COVID. Yes, I've seen a couple of folks get sick from COVID, but a lot of them ain't going to the hospital, and the ones who are going to the hospital are folks who are 70 and on up. So what that means is that we are less likely to get sick, less likely to be in the hospital, less likely to contract, and also less likely to pass away compared to people who are not vaccinated. So Nicki, I don't get, like, the reason why you get ate up, and it's just not just you, it's Busta Rhymes, it's Erykah Badu, it's other folks, because people try, like somebody was trying to defend Nicki yesterday or today, and it's like, y'all coming hard at Nicki, and it's other male celebrities, male rappers who anti-vax too, and we have dragged them too, but I end up finding out the reason why they probably was defending Nicki is because Nicki Minaj follows them. Y'all can't even be realistic because y'all are so interested in some proximity to celebrities who are literally, careers are literally failing left and right. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, Nicki, girl, the girls were joking with you at first and saying that you didn't want to come because of Chuck E. Cheese across the street and your husband came. Stop putting your damn husband in videos, pictures, and all that. We don't want to see him. That man is on the registry, and we ain't talking about Target. Stop posting him. You don't have to do all of that. It's causing too much, girl. It's causing too much. And now you out here being talked about like, girl, I'm watching the news. I'm watching Jake Tapper, and Jake Tapper even talking about you providing misinformation to your enormous platform, your enormous audience of younger, like, folks watching and listening to you. And then you out here saying stuff that's not making no sense, Nicki. Like, you listen to yourself. You said that your cousin, like, had it and got, like, what? Are you talking about some Drake had it? Of course Drake had it. He was sitting his ass down. Like, I guarantee you if Drake would have got sick to the point that he had to go to the hospital, I guarantee he would have got somewhere where he would have got some help because he has the money and resources. Unlike the millions of people who follow and watch you, who listen to your every word. This is why I'm all for abolishing stan culture, because it is so toxic. And it's not just with celebrities who make music and like artists and stuff, it's also with politicians. Also with politicians, folks were ready to stand in front of the train at AOC because she had this Chick-fil-A style tax the rich dress on. It's just like, how the nerve of you sitting here wearing this dress with the tax the rich on there when you sitting here going to a place where folks are spending anywhere from $30-something thousand on up for a ticket to this event that the money does not even go towards anything of value other than keeping this institution. Like what? Like, what's going on? Like, and Nicki, to be honest, girl, when am I gonna miss you at the Met Gala, girl? You really not serve no looks at the Met Gala in a minute, to be honest. So, girl, like, I'm just tired. I want dear old Nicki to come back. I want old Nicki to come back. I just want somebody to because it is just literally like a mess. This whole COVID thing, this whole vaccine, I was like, girl, what? And she getting into it with all these folks, and she just tweeting like she 25. I'm just like, you a grown ass woman, and that ish don't make no sense. Like, what you need to be doing is doing some proper research and protecting yourself and your child. Like, Nicki, you're not telling me, oh, the reason why you were doing everything. You were doing everything while you were pregnant. You were still shooting music videos, so much that you shot a music video with 6ix9ine in the kiddie pool while pregnant. And then did another music video. Like, girl, you've been doing stuff. Like, come on now. So let's not pretend like you all of a sudden, oh, I don't want to be there. Just, girl, just say you don't want to get the vaccine, because that's what literally what it looks like. You just don't want to get it. And that's okay, because a person like you got money. You got enough money to not even worry about getting the vaccine, honestly. Because I guarantee you got enough money to be able to call somebody to save your ass. You got enough money to call a doctor and get your butt somewhere to protect yourself. Get whatever you need, the stuff that you allegedly ain't doing, like you doing research for. I guarantee you're able to do that. But the folks who are watching, following you, and supporting your music, they don't have them type of resources. They don't have that type of money. They don't have they don't have that. So that's why you're being called out for, because you are providing misinformation. And it's really sad. So dear Nicki, dear old Nicki, please come back. Don't call back. Just come back.